and 5 kids scraped together $50 to buy their dad a broken truck. They thought they were saving him from another bad week. They didn't know what waited beneath the seat: a steel box, a deed, and a storm that would tear through every street in their town. Jamie's hands smell like copper coins and oil. The morning light cuts through the cracked blinds of their small kitchen as she counts again. The youngest, Melon, claps. We did it. Their father, Leon, sleeps in the next room, his breath heavy and uneven, the kind of tired that comes from years of hauling, patching, and being told no by people who've never known hunger. Tasha, the oldest, pushes back her braids, eyes rimmed red from another night cleaning offices across town. We can't let him see it yet. He'll talk us out of it. Anita slides a folded printout across the table. 97 Ford, $50, junk title, yard off Highway 9. Camilla frowns. That thing's gonna fall apart before it hits our street. Maybe, Jamie says, but at least it'll make him smile. They take the bus. 5 kids squeezed between factory workers and retirees. The truck waits behind a chain-link fence, faded blue, one tire flat, the smell of rust hanging like memory. A white man in a grease-stained cap meets them halfway. That heap, it don't even start. Jamie hands him the money without blinking. We're not buying it to drive. The man snorts. Whatever you say, sweetheart. When they tow it home with borrowed ropes and neighborhood laughter, Leon steps out onto the porch, his posture half pride, half shame. Lord, what did y'all drag in here? Melon beams. A truck, Daddy, so you can fix it again. He stares a long moment, lips pressed tight. You spent money on this? Tasha's just sets. We spend it on you. That silences him. The man who's patched 100 engines and never one of his own dreams. He walks to the truck, palms the hood like blessing it. Guess she's got a few stories left. Later, when everyone's inside, he sits behind the wheel. Seat gives a long sigh. He reaches under it, feeling for a wrench, but something metal catches his fingers. Square, heavy, wrapped in canvas. He pulls it out slowly, heart thudding. A steel box. He pries it open with a screwdriver. Inside, papers, crisp and yellowed, stamped with county seals. Property deed, 312 Willow Lane. The address makes his blood chill. That's this street, but the name on it, Booker, Walter L., doesn't match his own. From the kitchen window, Jamie's small voice breaks the quiet. Daddy, what's that? He swallows, eyes still locked on the paper. Something that shouldn't be here. Leon sits at the kitchen table long after sunrise. The steel box open beside him. The deed lies under the harsh bulb light. Its ink faded but clear. Property of Walter L. Booker, dated 1965. His hands tremble as he runs a thumb over the embossed seal. The name sits heavy in his chest like a ghost that never left. Jamie appears in the doorway, rubbing sleep from her eyes. You been up all night? Leon nods, not looking up. You remember the old field by the water tower? Yeah. Where you said your granddaddy used to fish? Leon's voice drops. This says it belongs to him. To us. Tasha enters, tying her apron. Already late for her shift. Wait, how would that paper end up under a truck seat? Leon exhales. That's what I'm fixing to find out. By noon, he's at the county clerk's office, the paper folded tight in his coat pocket. The woman behind the counter, white, glasses hanging by a chain, gives him a polite, distant smile. Can I help you? He lays the deed down carefully. Found this in an old truck. Says the land's on Willow Lane. I live there. Thought you could tell me if it's real. She studies it, fingers drumming. Then her gaze shifts. This land was foreclosed in 1987, reclaimed by the city. Leon frowns. That can't be right. My family lived there since before I was born. Her tone stays smooth, detached. Paperwork says otherwise. She slides it back. These things happen, Mr. Booker. Something flickers behind her eyes. Recognition, discomfort. She clears her throat. Well, Mr. Booker, if you believe there's been an error, you can file a petition. He nods slowly. And if the land was taken wrongfully? Her answer is quick. Then it belongs to whoever's name is on the latest deed. I'm sorry. He leaves, the word sorry following him down the hallway like a mosquito that won't quit. Outside, the air smells like hot tar and cut grass. He unfolds the paper again, staring at the stamp at the bottom, signed by a man named Whitlock, the same family that owns the development 3 streets over. When Leon gets home, his neighbors are gathered around the truck. A white man in khaki pants leans against a black SUV, arms crossed. His tone is too casual to be friendly. Heard you found something interesting, Booker. Leon stiffens. Depends who's asking. Name's Greg Whitlock. My family's been managing properties here for decades. You might be holding on to something that isn't yours. Leon's voice hardens. Funny, that's what they said to my granddaddy when they took his land. Greg smirks. Look, man, let's be reasonable. That paper don't mean anything now. It's history. Let it rest. Leon steps closer, quiet but unshakable. History don't rest till the truth does. Tasha comes out onto the porch, children behind her. Jamie clutches the edge of Leon's sleeve. Daddy? He glances down, then back at Greg. You tell your people if this paper's real, I'm not letting it disappear again. Greg's smile fades. Be careful what you stir up, Booker. Some things are better buried. He gets into his SUV, tires crunching on gravel as he drives off. Leon watches him go, the deed tight in his hand. Behind him, the kids stand silent, sensing something deeper than anger brewing. Jamie finally speaks. Are we in trouble? Leon kneels, voice steady but raw. Maybe. Trouble's just Truth wearing work clothes. He looks at the truck, its rust glowing dull in the afternoon sun. Beneath the seat that started it all, a few more bolts glint like secrets waiting their turn. He whispers to himself, they took it once, not again. Rain falls slow that evening, streaking the porch windows. The truck sits quiet in the driveway, water sliding down its rusted sides like tears on old skin. Inside the house, the family gathers around the kitchen table. The deed lies between them, weighted with a coffee mug so it won't curl. Tasha sets down her apron, voice low. Leon, you can't go up against them Whitlocks. They own half this town. You remember what they did to Mr. Johnson when he tried to keep his barber shop? They buried him in court. Leon rubs the back of his neck, eyes tired but burning. That was different. No, it wasn't, she snaps. It's always the same. They got the lawyers, the money, the judges. Jamie listens silent. The rain hits harder, drumming against the roof. She whispers, what if they're scared? Why else show up if it didn't matter? Her father looks at her, a spark of pride in his exhaustion. You're right, baby. Folks don't fight this hard to keep what's rightfully theirs. They fight when they know it ain't. The next morning, Leon walks to the community center. The old brick building still bears a faded mural of hands, black, white, brown, painted years ago during better times. Inside, the place smells of old wood and coffee. He finds Anita Harris, a retired teacher who once taught his mother. You remember my granddaddy's land down by the water tower? He asks. She leans back, squinting. Lord, yes. Booker Field. Your granddaddy kept it clean when no one else would. City took it, said taxes weren't paid. But I remember he had receipts. Leon lays the deed on the table. This was under my old truck seat. Looks like proof they forged it. Anita studies it for a long minute, then nods. You need help, not hope. I'll call Melvin. By sunset, Melvin, the only black attorney in their county, sits in their kitchen, sleeves rolled up, reading through the brittle paper. It's real, he says finally. But the statute of limitations. I don't care about limits. Leon cuts in. I care about the truth. Melvin sighs. Truth don't always pay the bills, but sometimes it shifts the ground. He looks up. You ready to make noise, Booker? Leon nods. Been quiet long enough. Word spreads by the weekend. Some neighbors stand with Leon, others pull back. White families whisper at grocery aisles. A few black elders clap him on the shoulder. About time someone shook the dust off this town, one says, but not everyone's kind. Greg Whitlock returns with two men in suits. They park in front of Leon's house, arms crossed like walls. Greg calls out, you're making a mistake, Booker. That land's worth millions now. You think they'll just hand it over? Leon steps off his porch, rain still clinging to his jacket. I don't want their money. I want my name back on what's mine. Greg laughs, mean and sharp. You think the court's gonna side with you over a Whitlock? Behind Leon, Jamie's small voice cuts through. Maybe they will when they see who's really telling the truth. Greg's grin falters, just a flicker. But it's enough. The men leave, muttering under their breath. The next day, the courthouse fills, neighbors, reporters, old friends. The story of the deed in the junk truck spreads like wildfire. Anita sits behind Leon, hand on his shoulder. Tasha holds the kids close. When the judge calls for silence, Melvin rises, voice calm but cutting. For years, this family lived on land their forefathers built. Land stolen through forged papers and silence. Today, silence ends. Across the aisle, Greg Whitlock's lawyer stumbles when asked for the original transfer documents. The signatures don't match. The room buzzes. Cameras flash. The judge clears his throat. Mr. Booker, it appears your family's ownership was never properly terminated. The court will review full restitution. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Greg drops his gaze, jaw tight. Outside, the sky clears. Leon steps onto the courthouse steps, his children holding his hands. Reporters shout questions, microphones thrust forward. He looks at them, voice steady. This ain't about land. It's about memory. About what gets taken when we stop believing our history matters. Jamie tugs his arm, eyes wide. Daddy, did we win? He smiles faintly. We didn't win, baby. We just made them see. That night, the junk truck gleams under the streetlight. Its rust no longer ugly but sacred. Beneath the seat where the steel box once hid, a plaque now reads, to those who kept believing in what was buried. The neighborhood gathers, black and white side by side, listening to the hum of crickets and distant thunder. For the first time in years, the air feels lighter. Sometimes justice doesn't roar. It hums in the hands that refuse to let go. And sometimes, the rusted things we rebuild carry the heart of who we are. If you believe truth can outlive silence, share this story, and never stop digging for what's rightfully yours.